we'll be looking at the binary income amongst other things. Have you all joined the content library, and what do you think of the content that's on there at the moment?
It's extremely helpful, Rich. Thank you for the input that you're giving.
And please, if you have any ideas, and you don't have to have the whole idea, just a sliver of an idea, just send it my way, and I can make something. Because I rack my brain all the time to try to think of new ideas and ways to do it. But if you've got any ideas, and I mean, you don't have to have the whole picture. You just have to have a little idea. Send it my way, and I can create something. Because we all look at things from different perspectives. So let's make the dream work through the teamwork. Then I created that link tree during the week. If you on the link tree, and we'll just put more things on, as because you can see there, I've put the getting started booklet on, I've put the affiliate plan booklet, I've put the video, and then I've also put that PDF. Anything that's useful for you. It just saves you having to go and look in WhatsApp or some other place everything's at your fingertips there, and you can simply send the person a link, or you can download the booklet and send it to them. It just makes it, everything's there for you to find very easily. So that's the idea of the link tree. Right, let's move on to the topic for this evening, and that's that carry forward. Now, as it mentions in the affiliate plan booklet, a significant advantage of the binary system is the carry forward of any unused BV in your bigger or greater leg. Now, previously in other systems, if you didn't earn it, you lost it, basically. And with NWP, there's something different, because it's very transparent, and they actually hold that for you for when you can potentially earn it. And we'll look at that now. You need to understand that this is very much, when we were in school, we had standard grade, higher grade, there was lower grade, and then there was like those who took 7 or 8 subjects. This is kind of like on the 7 or 8 subjects type of thing. I don't expect you to understand this. I just want you to know about it, because when it comes to your strategy, it can be advantageous for you in your business and the way you're going to earn. This is something that you won't always experience. It's much like the spillover. Sometimes we're lucky we get spillover. Other times we never get any spillover in our lives. It just happens like that. With this system, you might be your one leg, your spillover leg, for instance, could be so big that you'll never ever use this carryover volume. But on the other hand, that might be the case where, because your spillover is so big, and then you grow your own side of your business, that your business becomes bigger than your spillover leg, and all those months of carried, the extra bonuses that you didn't receive, you'll start receiving that. So I know it sounds very complicated. I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible, just so that you know it's there. This is the idea of this meeting, just so that you can understand that volume is there should you ever need it. Let's have a look at this. Is a bit more of an advanced binary layout. That when you look at your back office and you see your binary income on a weekly basis, this is what you're going to see. However, you won't see the percentage, you won't see the deposit on the left, and the rest you will see, but you won't see the percentage. And the reason why you won't see the percentage and you won't see your deposit on the left is because you can't work out the percentage exactly, because remember, the different portfolios earn different amounts. So your people on the foundation portfolio, and all I've done on this calculation is just looked at the foundation portfolio to keep it very simple for you. But remember, people on the foundation portfolios earn different percentages to the growth and different percentages to the elite, and soon to be different percentages to the booster portfolios. All of that's going to make a difference to your weekly BV that you earn. But we've just kept this simple in this spreadsheet just to show you how effectively this would work for you. What's happening here is if you look at the first week, and that's the one on the bottom, okay, and because this is the way your back office report works. The first week is we look here at the 1st of November. So what happened here? This person had 15,900 on the left, 12,754, because this is where it all starts with those deposits. So because of those deposits, 177 BV was earned on the left and 142 BV was earned on the right. So because the right-hand side is your lesser leg, you're going to earn your matched BV on 142. And therefore, your binary income will be 15% of that 142. Then this 35 over here, this 35.08, that is the difference. Remember, you paid on the matched volume in your binary. So you've paid on 142. You didn't get paid on 35 binary or 35 business volume. So that's carried forward to the next week. The next week, the 8th of November, you'll see here the volume of the deposit has increased a little bit on the left and the right, and the same thing happens. The right-hand side is still smaller, so that's the side you're going to get paid for the match BV. The difference then of the previous week and the difference of this week is then added together to give you 7760, and that then just carries forward. Please ask. If you're unsure about something I'm saying, please just stop me. We've got plenty time. And yes, as Brenda said, this is the first time you hear about it. This is not so, the reason why we don't do this in the normal presentation is that it's just complicated. As you'll notice from this spreadsheet in front of you, this is complicated. This is the higher grade, and it's something that the back office would automatically do for you. But, obviously being leaders on this group, I need to tell you about this so that you do understand it or try. I'm not even saying understand it, just so that you know about it. Are there any questions about anything that I've said so far? Who here has experienced the carry forward, or let's say the flip-flop effect of this? Because that's what when you move from when your lesser leg moves, let's say you were earning from the right and then your left leg became bigger, that's effectively when you're going to start earning from the carry forward. Who's experienced this so far?
I have, Rich.
Okay. And was it easy to understand?
No.
Thank you. That's
it. You and I spent many hours going through this.
Yes.
But yeah. And it's happened to me that my right leg was small and then the left leg was small. Now we're back to the right leg. So I've had it flip-flop both ways now.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but it is difficult. It's, once you get it, though, you get it. Then it's cool.
Yes, good. Blanche?
Yes. I think I've got it again.
Yeah, I think you have. And did you understand it?
Yeah, eventually.
Eventually, yes. So that's the thing. All I'm doing here is just showing you so that when it happens, you'll then start to slowly understand this. And if you have it happen to people in your team, you'll at least know it's there. For instance, you wouldn't necessarily know how to explain it to them, but you will know it's there, and you can just say, yes, you're getting that benefit because of this, and that's extra. Because what the difference will be is that you can see that which side you're earning on. So this is the first part of this is straightforward. You're simply earning from your lesser leg. That's what everyone's doing at the moment. You're earning from your lesser leg. Nothing different has happened. So you're getting 15% of the matched business volume in your lesser leg. Now, when we move to the next slide, so what happens here is we've taken the 22nd of November. That was the one on the top. If we just go back one, I've got this column. I've just repeated it on the new slide. And what's happened here was this guy had 18,900 in the left, and he had 14,986 on the right. So he was still earning on the lesser leg. And then suddenly the lesser leg got an extra 9,000 in it, which then, if you look at this now, the column that's marked with the red triangle around it, the red rectangle around it, you'll notice that the new right-hand side is not the lesser leg anymore, it's the stronger leg, but now you're getting paid on this stronger leg. And you only are supposed to get paid on the lesser leg, not the stronger leg. And that's what we've always been told. But because of this carry forward, now you'll notice that what was carried forward was 168. So the difference happens then is that this extra volume is then taken from this side and help you balance so that you can get paid on this matched VV or the stronger leg. So now it sees what it's actually seen is that your left-hand side and your right-hand side is both 322 and not 278. So it's using this balance that's been carried forward to balance you out at 322.41. And that's effectively what it's doing. Now, the next week, nothing much happened. There was 124 which was utilized, and only 76 wasn't. So there's 76 cents, you could say, that couldn't be used, and that was carried forward to the following week. Now, what's going to happen is the 496 volume on the right cannot no longer be used because you're back to that flip-flop effect. Now you're going to be earning on the lesser volume again because you have got no carryover. If they would, you would be in deficit. So in other words, what's going to happen here is this 151 is now going to not be on the carry forward on the left. That's the difference. And that will go onto the right-hand side. And now you'll be accumulating on the right-hand side as opposed to the left, because you've used up all the carry forward from the left in these 2 weeks to get you those extra bonuses. Okay, so that's what happens with this carry forward. How does this affect your strategy going forward? Okay, so there's two ways to look at it, but what you want to do, because remember that you haven't got any carry forward here now. Okay, you've only got this 1 week. So you really want to, because you were building here to get yourself to this point. So you in the month of November, if we look back there, you were concentrating on your right-hand side of the business. And you were working with that team, making sure that that business was growing, and eventually that started to pay off. But because of this flip-flop effect, you could go and run to the other side, but then you're going to have a constant flip-flop. And if you had started momentum and you were working with your people on the right-hand side, then in my way of thinking, it's just better to carry on and ride that momentum out, whatever's happening in that team, and you ride it out to a point where they kind of like become self-sufficient. You know, in anyone, they start, if you've got new people, they recruit quickly at the start, and then it sort of slows down. Or you might find that everyone's taken the booster, for instance, and they're waiting for the next thing to happen. So if you just concentrate, then this is the idea of the carry forward effect, is just concentrate on wherever you've got momentum in your business. You don't have to worry about jumping over to the other side, because when you get this volume carry forward, then by the time you run out of momentum here and you start new momentum in another leg, well, then you're going to be able to utilize what was carried forward here. Does that make sense? This is the beauty of this carry forward, is that you don't have to keep moving from left to right just to balance things just for a buck. You know that basically when that momentum is there, you just build and you gather, make hay while the sun shines, gather, keep the store. And then when you go over to the leaner side of your business and that starts to build, you've still got that in the store there. So that's the idea here, just to give your business a little bit more balance, and you never lose this, and you can work it. So I hope that sort of helps you understand what NWP was trying to do. And there's two things that are completely unique in NWP, in my way of looking at it, is firstly, you can earn money without having your own deposit. And then this carry forward. I've never seen this in any other business either. So NWP has got some really unique things to help you and, just sustain your earnings in a way. I'm just going to close the sharing now and we'll just open it for any questions, because that's really my little short presentation for this evening. I know it wasn't so short, but it at least gives you an idea of what's happening and things and how they happen in the NWP system. Right, anything else that you'd like to discuss? This is really, it's an open session. We always talk about things, get ideas, and see how we can move forward. So what would you like to talk about? Anyone, any questions, anything that you've had, any experiences you'd like to share, whatever, just, feel free. And thanks for those who've joined us in the meantime while I've been talking. Welcome.
Yes, my name is Hanneke.
Hi, Hanneke.
Yes, thanks, my friend. I just want to ask the question. We've got some people that I invited for tonight. So for the first time they're here, can you, if it's possible, can you just explain to us, if we take the $100 trade that's at this stage has got another 100 Rand that's will be added from your people, from your side, can you just explain to us, if you invest that $200, for how long will that investment last without, well, you need to take it out every Friday and redeposit. So, but how long will that $100 actually last? If I can actually, it's a very plain example, but for new beginners, if I invest in the 200, I know you're going to use the 200, and just explain that little bit, especially because we've got a few new people here, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Okay, so let's just, something that you said, which was maybe a little bit of a concern, and that is that, when you put this money in, okay, and you're going to put your $100 in, NWP will put $100 with that, and you'll be earning every week on the $200 in your portfolio. Now, when it comes to the first week, you won't be able to, you probably wouldn't have earned enough money that week to withdraw the profits and put them back, for instance. So, but what you said it sort of gives me an idea that many people have taken out they may be confused by the fact that they must withdraw. Now, when you withdraw, you're only going to withdraw your profits. You don't withdraw your capital, because the first time you withdraw your capital, that's free, but the next time you withdraw capital, it's 2%. So, always make sure that people are leaving their capital there. If they need their capital, they can get it on the normal portfolios, but it's really only the profit that you're going to take out, and you pay 5% on the withdrawal of your profit. To answer your question on the $200 and how long is it going to stay there, because now the difference between a booster portfolio and a normal portfolio, if you put in $100, that $100 that you put in a normal portfolio, it'll stay there forever. And as long as you keep the $100 in the system, it'll continuously earn profits on a weekly basis. When you've got the booster, because the company gave you the extra $100, you would earn an accelerated earning. So if you look at the basic target on a normal portfolio of $100, that would be 5% per month. Now, because you're taking the booster, you effectively got 2 times that 100. So you've got $200, but you only put in $100. So what you're actually earning on that $100 that you put in is 10% per month. So if we look at 10% per month, it'll take you 10 months to get your $100 back. And then it'll take you another 10 months before you've got your full $200. Because when you take the booster, and this is assuming that we only make 5% for the month. If you make a little bit more, it might go a little bit quicker. If you make less, it might take a little bit longer. But your $200 in the booster, you can only earn $200 from that. So you've put in 100, the company puts another 100. Once you've earned $200 in total, it falls away. You've got your capital back and you've got your profit. And what happened is you got it in double the time. You've accelerated the time. So what you would need to do is, when you have got $10 in profits, then you would take that. And so if you look at it, let's just work out 10% of 200, that's $20. You'll be making on a $200 portfolio about $10 every 2 weeks. So therefore, every 2 weeks, and if it's a little bit more, you'll have the fee, because remember that if you were drawing out $10, if it was just 5% that you earned in the 2 weeks, then you would only get $9.50. So you would need at least $10.60 to cover your fee. If you've got $10.60 and you withdraw that, you will get $10 in your wallet, and you will then be able to make a new deposit. So I hope are you still able to follow me at this point? I hope I'm not talking too much, and I hope I'm making sense on it.
No, that's perfect. And sorry, I remember now that we're not going to get that weekly money back, because it's the 200 that you actually contribute towards. But thank you so much. It's helping me a lot, and some of our new members.
All right, wonderful. So this is, and remember that you can only do a booster once. So this is really just to get you started. After that, as I said, your normal portfolio simply earns your normal target per month, but that carries on forever. It never stops. And then you would have heard me say earlier that the booster portfolios will actually be getting their own percentage from, if not this week, probably next week. They're just busy doing the coding in the back office. So what will happen is that you will get because the booster portfolios trade 7 days a week and not like your normal portfolios, which only trade from Monday to Friday. Because you've put your money in the booster, you've effectively locked it away and you're expecting the double return, accelerated return on that. So because of that, they can trade 7 days a week and therefore hopefully get a bigger percentage on your boosters than you would do on your normal foundation portfolios. Haven't seen it yet because they're still busy, but you will see a different result. So when I say you might have got it in 10 months, well, depending on the result, you might get it in a little bit less time. Who knows? We yet to see that when it comes out in the next week or two. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Anything else anyone would like to know?
Rich, if I read some people, more members underneath me, and they fall about, say, 10 levels down, but they are my direct. That does benefit me.
Yes, it does. Of course. Yeah. So you can have as many directs as you want. They all effectively fall on your level 1 because you'll receive the direct referral bonus from them. And in terms of the binary, they all just add up to whichever leg they're in, and that adds to your binary volume, and you get paid on that, whatever BV was generated in your binary. So yes, anyone in your business, doesn't matter how far down, there can be thousands of people away from you, you will still benefit from them. And if they are your directs, you'll definitely earn the 15% of whatever they make on a weekly basis, and it'll also calculate into your binary as well as your matching bonus. There's no level cutoff. The only cutoff is when you've earned $5,000 for the week in the binary.
Hi, Rich. Hi, everyone.
Hello, Peter. You well?
I'm well, and you, Rich?
Good, thank you.
On the question of the booster,
yes,
the initial booster, when you have deposited 30, it was sort of boosted to 90 by the company adding 60.
That's right.
Yeah. So my question is, when does the booster fall away? Is it after you have reached 60, meaning that you have got your 30 back, or when you have reached 90, then the booster will fall away? I can't remember that.
Yeah. So whatever the booster is, so in the case of the triple booster, that was $30 boosted to 90. So then once you've earned 90, it falls away. And in the case of the twin booster or the other triple booster, which was 50, which went to 150. So whatever the total is on the booster, when you've earned that, the booster falls away. So it was 90, 150, and now on the twin booster, 200, which whenever you reach those, it falls away.
Okay, thanks very much.
Pleasure.
I'm clear.
One of the questions that came up during the week was someone said to me, oh, that the fees are very expensive. And we were talking about the transfer fees. Good. And what happened was people will get, they seem to get a little bit confused with the cryptocurrencies. If you've got SafePal on your phone, and on the computer, and I just did this because it's easier for everyone to see, you'll notice here that the Polygon logo on this computer version is different from the one that we've got on our phones. And then the Polygon here is Polygon, this is the gas. Now, if we go and look at a transaction fee, let's have a look at a send here. This was $5 cent. And on this particular one, it was 0.02 pol. That was the fee. Now, if we go and look at, if we go to pol, for instance, and we put in send, let's just go and do a send, and we go, let's just send to an address, just because it probably needs that. And then when we go 0.02, notice that that fee hasn't even come up as a USD figure yet. So that means it hasn't even registered 1 US cent. If I have to try and get it to, and remember that's 0.02, and this was incidentally quite high, because what I was noticing this last weekend was the typical fees were around about 0.005 for the transactions. Now, if we had to try and find out what was 1 cent, I think there we are. 0.1 pol would be 1 cent. So 0.02, you'd be able to do 5 transactions and it wouldn't even cost you 1 cent. So you see why NWP uses the Polygon network, because it's so cheap on transaction fees. Obviously, you're going to pay your withdrawal fee, because that's the only way NWP makes money. There's no other fees that NWP is going to charge you, and that they obviously need to make their money. So that's why they charge you the 5% withdrawal fee. And then, of course, that's only on the profit that you make. It's not the 5% that you make on the weekly basis, because that wouldn't make any sense. So that's, just to give you an idea. If anyone says things are expensive, they look at it, and I mean, they might even think that, oh, it's 10 cents, but they're looking at the pol value. They're not looking at the dollar value, and that would never even be that high. As I say, the average ones are running there, and that's less than 1 cent. All right, so I just hope that, just to give you an idea of those fees, I just wanted to show you that. So that if people say to you, oh, it's expensive, well, it really isn't expensive. Okay, everyone. Well, I'm not going to keep you any longer. Thanks for your time. I hope that it was time well spent. Do have a good evening, and we shall see you tomorrow night if you're joining us on the call there. I keep trying to make the presentation a little bit more simple. Sometimes I go a little bit more in detail, and other times I try to simplify it, just whatever works and that sort of thing. I do. Just try to save people as much time as possible, give them the simplest explanation of the business so that they can understand it and get going. That's the most important.